Anderson just able to get this one out of the way and jump into round 2.
Well, what I would love to see him do is to average 107, win 3 sets to 0 and kind of give it, guys, I'm here and you've got to try to take it off me because I don't want to let go of it. That's in an ideal world. I just want to see him play to his potential and play like the world champion he is. Don't give in to nerves, because he used to be a nervous character, but he seems to have moved away from that.
How do you think he's looking?
Originally, well, when he first stood on the walk-on, I thought he looked nervous. I still think his eyes are holding a bit of fear, I must admit. But I think that's more about his own personal performance rather than the fact that he's scared of playing Andy Boulton, who he beat recently at the Grand Slam.
Andy Boulton, though, game under his belt, beat Pale House in the evening. Gives him an advantage, doesn't it?
Have played up there, yes, of course it does. But he's playing Gary Anderson, who is the second best player in the world. And like I said, I would like to see Gary settling quickly.
I think he's just done that way. Let's hand over to commentary. John Parr, Nigel Pearson.
Well, if the reigning world champion was nervous, it's a nice little way to start, isn't it? He said 48 hours ago, when I spoke to him, all he wanted to do was get up there, get on with it, and get on with the business in hand. All the pre-tournament hype about being reigning world champion. He said the nerves kick in when you get on the walk-on, but when you're on stage, you feel a lot more comfortable. And the evidence suggests that Gary Anderson is spot on, John Part.
Well, yeah, and what a great start. You know, got halfway through a perfect game. Just passed. He's on for 11, an easy 11, a single to a double.
59, Gary Anderson, 44.
What a way this would be, eh? To start your defence of the world title. An 11-down leg, Gary Anderson. First leg of the game, no time at all. I don't think he's feeling any nerves at all now.
Well, I think he is, but I think they're working to help him, which can be the case.
100.
Adrenaline, it's all helping him to focus, to play well, to be sharp. Sometimes if you don't have that adrenaline, it's hard to get going.
140.
He said on Tuesday, when he spent some time in London, Tuesday afternoon, that he was going to spend the next couple of days on the practice board, working hard.
100.
And the prospect of walking on the stage was terrifying for him. He was riddled with nerves at the prospect, but my goodness, here he goes again.
140.
Remarkable opening from the reigning champion.
Yeah, well, there's absolutely nothing about the results of the darts that indicate that he is nervous in any way, shape, or form. But I agree with Wayne. He was showing it in the walk-on before, and even on the stage a bit. It means so much to any world champion to return and to try and prove it once more.
Well, Gary seems as though he wants to get this done sooner rather than later.
60, Gary Anderson, 81.
And this could be another 11 with a double 12.
On the second leg,
how's he doing?
Gary Anderson.
Well, that is a perfect way
to throw first. Game on.
to take apart your opponent in the opening 2 legs of the game. There's been more media attention than ever before on this World Championship. More anticipation.
80.
Wow, are we in an exhibition here?
Well, that put a huge dent in his average. Only 80.
59.
He's only at 130. Early stages, but my goodness.
54.
Well, he really has got off to an amazing start here. And Andy Boulton, let's give him credit, because it was a real scrap with Pär Larsen earlier in the preliminary round. To really work hard. Lost the first set 3-2 to Pär Larsen, but battled through, hit a double 8 to finish it. Averaged 83, and he actually hit 14 140s in that game, Andy Boulton. But the way Anderson has started,
84.
Bolton's not even capitalising on any errors that Gary makes here.
Yeah, different kind of a pace to this match as well. Gary Anderson very much rat-a-tat-tatting, and the second 180. And he's now poised to finish in 15 or less to win the set.
140.
He hasn't got the car running outside, has he? And he's worried about wasting fuel. Wants to get on with it. 10 for tops here. For the champion!
90. And he requires 158.
Tall order for Boulton here. Unlikely, has to be said.
Well, unfortunately for Boulton, he's been a non-factor in the match. It's that standard. I mean, 211s to open, bang, bang. That's pretty difficult to walk into.
Gary requires 20.
Double 10. For the first set in super fast time. Now, double trouble. Double trouble indeed. Boulton looking to break through.
Yeah, he really needs to. Has to prove to Gary that he can punish, and he can't hit the single, the second single.
32.
So, opportunity missed.
Can he use that as a marker? 6 missed shots at a double. That time, Gary Anderson gets there. Made a little bit harder work than we thought he would. A flying start for the reigning world champion. Gary Anderson gets the first set on the board. And we're back with set 2 in a few moments' time.
World Darts Championship on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Alexandra Palace, where it has been a spectacular start to the defence of his world title for Gary Anderson. Stunning first set, 3 legs without reply against the preliminary qualifier Andy Boulton. Opening night here, hotly anticipated, and we have seen some great stuff. Plenty more to come tomorrow as well, of course. From 1 o'clock, double session tomorrow. But first up tonight, the prelim, Andy Boulton 2, Per Larson 1, a real hard-fought battle. Darryl Gurney, the battle of the young guns with Jamie Lewis coming through 3-1. And Peter Wright, absolutely ruthless Wright, dumping out Keegan Brown 3-0. John Part alongside me. Well, it was a quick-fire first set, John, but it could have been even quicker if Gary hadn't missed those doubles.
Game on.
Yeah, well, that's true, and it also could have been quicker if Andy had hit big 16 to get a shot in the 64 out.
45.
You got to take your chances when you get them against the guy, forget world champion, but just in the form that Anderson displayed in the first 2 legs, 2 11-dart legs. And here he is again, looking for another 11, maybe a 10. How about a 9?
Maybe a 9. Maybe.
81.
Well, 3 180s so far. We're in the 4th leg of the game, and Gary's hit 3 180s. Admitted he was nervous.
58.
All the pressure on his shoulders. But certainly what a year it's been for him. And he said one of the biggest moments was when he arrived on the big stage in Glasgow as reigning world champion in March in the Premier League. Live on Sky Sports, of course. A nice steady 10-40, but he's in free-flowing mood. And over the last couple of weeks as well, he's been on the road. Gary Anderson has been back 65. North of the border on the exhibition circuit.
23.
But over the last 48 hours, hitting the practice board in preparation for this big game. Which way is he going to go now?
Well, he's left tops,
83.
and he's probably happier with that than if he'd hit the treble 10 and missed the double 18 one way or the other. Now he's coming back to his favorite. Tops. And I'm sure he'd like to hit the tops because he messed
60.
around with that double 10 quite a bit.
40.
He'd love it first time, wouldn't he? It's not happened. Double 10 now.
Game's
Middle of
on
the bed
first
that
leg.
time.
Gary Anderson.
That's more like
Second
it.
leg, it's Gary to throw first.
And it's a
Game
breaker
on.
throw as well. When we say that's more like it, he has missed 7 shots at a double, but he's averaging 104.
96.
Nice cover as well. He wants this done sooner rather than later, doesn't he?
Yeah, and you know, with averaging 105 Gary now, and you know, with that 7 missed darts at double, that just is an incredible average. It just shows how good his scoring has been.
100.
Wants another cup of coffee as quickly as possible, doesn't he?
Well, in 4 legs, he's had 3 180s and 5 140s.
131.
That's kind of crazy.
Anderson said earlier in the week in response to a question about
42.
the pressure of being world champion, how have you dealt with it? He said, I just have an extra spoon of coffee.
100.
Crowd absolutely loving it. They're having a great time.
You would think that would make you more jittery, and maybe that's what we saw before the walk-on.
60.
That was that extra shot of espresso.
Nice last dart there. And I wonder what's going through this fella's mind right now. He knows he's playing the reigning world champion, of course. The the preliminary round victory guaranteed him decent prize money in the first round, more than doubled it. Double 12 for Gary Anderson, no problem, 2-zip in the second set of the game. And he's making it look very, very simple right now, John.
Well, it's everything he could have hoped for so far.
58.
We know that Boulton, he never gave up in this preliminary game, so although it's not looking very good for him, he's got a level of
134.
performance which he could go to if he just clicks in, and it could trouble Gary, but looking very unlikely.
Yeah, and let's give this fella
60.
credit, Andy Boulton. He appeared at the Grand Slam live on Sky Sports, of course, where he was beaten by Gary, Barney and Larry Butler, but didn't disgrace
96.
himself. He topped the Q School Order of Merit table to win a tour card early in the year. He qualified for the World Championship preliminary
81.
round, playing Gary Stone, Stuart Kellett, Ricky Evans, and here he is. So, although it
96.
looks like Andy's time in the tournament could be heading to an end, give him credit. It's been a big night for him, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, he's got to play
39.
2 matches on this fantastic new stage.
60.
Oh, and at least won 1 of them. Still not impossible to win 2.
Well, that was a good visit from Boulton.
115.
Now, can he take this second set? He's got the ball first. He's got 15 for ball. Or 25 for tops. He's got double 10!
95. And here in 123.
Well, it's sort of a must-do. It's treble 18 for ball. Just doesn't get the opportunity.
87. Gary O'Guard, 20.
So here we go with double 10 for Anderson, the reigning champion. Gone well wide of it, gone inside it, double 5 now,
Game's
middle of
on
the bed.
second set.
And Gary Anderson romps into a 2-set lead, and he hasn't conceded a leg. The reigning world champion starting the defence of his title in some style. Can he finish the job? He's averaging a ton plus, and we're back at the Alexandra Palace in a few moments' time.
World Darts Championship on Sky Sports. On Sky Sports.
The greatest year of his life.
Opening night of the World Darts Championship here at the Alexandra Palace in North London. What a night we've seen. A lot of question marks over Gary Anderson and how he would handle being the reigning champion, opening the start of his defence here. But he's answered it emphatically with a wonderful run of form. Results tonight: Andy Boulton in the prelim, beating the Dane Per Larsen 2-1. Darryl Gurney, the clash of the young guns with Jamie Lewis, a 3-1 win. Peter Wright, emphatic 3-0 against Keegan Brown. And the match in progress: Gary Anderson, the world champion, 2-0 up over the preliminary qualifier, Andy Boulton, who has not had a dart at a double. Emphatic from Gary Anderson, 101.3 average, 3 180s. And he hasn't allowed his opponent to have a dart at a double. Any questions about the nerves and about starting the defence of your title have been answered emphatically by this man, Gary Anderson. John Park, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, he had nerves, but they were commanded. They were used to his benefit rather than detriment. And he's had the dream start that he wanted.
85.
And now really sent the message out there that he is back to win this title, not just to show up and shake a few hands.
He'd love to average a ton plus, wouldn't he, in the first round, just to remind his rivals what he's all about. Picture of concentration,
93.
Andy Boulton. Can't fault him.
Yeah, valuable experience playing on the World Championship stage in his second match tonight. Brilliant floor player. Plays at a very high standard, not in evidence here, but he does. Just needs a little experience.
84.
Andy Boulton, originally from Stoke-on-Trent, now lives in Scotland, a West Ayrshire County player. Now 17 for Anderson would leave tops.
77.
Well, you would think that Anderson will be back here. Tall order for Andy Boulton, this.
So we have an English Scotsman playing a Scottish Englishman. Okay, it's all clear now to me.
Needs the ball. Wasn't far away, was he? For a break of throw. Now for 7 successive legs. Double 10, Gary Anderson. Gets it with the final dart.
Gary Anderson. Second leg is Andy.
He's off and running.
Game on
course for a straight sets victory.
Yeah, those chances, you just have to take them. And Bolton's learning the hard way that that is the case. He knows that, though. It's a little bit tight.
151.
Scenario that just gets worse and harder to face. Every time he gets in a situation as this match progresses, it's getting harder.
140.
Thought he was going to get a 180 on the board. Didn't manage one in the preliminary round. 2-1 victory over Per Larsen. Nice cover, 2 treble 19s from the champion.
He did have quite a few 140s, though, and he is a good scorer. This could be that. 180. No. You see, yeah, the story within the story. He's trying to get that 180.
Wasn't far off then, was he? Oh, look at that for a last start. Just squeeze between the upper and the lower, and fantastic throwing from Gary Anderson. Andy Boulton looks quite relaxed right now. He knows he's in a hopeless position, looking for any type of consolation. Another treble 20 will leave double 8 for a 136.
120.
Well, if he thought he was comfortable, the 62 just got a lot more awkward. Wants the treble 10, so now probably 20 for double 16 for a leg. That'll make him feel a lot better. Some dignity reclaimed.
And why not two? Well done, Andy Boulton.
140.
What a response from the champion. Well, he's hit 6 140s. This fella's hit 5. Andy's hit 19 140s in 2 games tonight.
Yeah, Gary won't like all that showboating, will he? I mean,
100.
I think Gary's in a ruthless mood. He has looked like he's got the car running outside. I think you said it in an earlier set, and that just seems to be his tone, his mood.
Well, Andy's played 23 legs tonight over 2 games, and he's hit the 19 140s. He looked as though
99.
he was in a hopeless position against Per Larsen at one stage. Managed to dig deep. Showed a lot of tenacity to battle his way through.
58.
Anderson averaging 101.3 right now.
Well, I love these sets, formats, the World Championship, the World Grand Prix. Way back when the Desert Classic was sets, when it was running. But it lends itself to a comeback. It can happen much more easily than if it was a straight match play, because the pounding he's taken, he wouldn't even have any hope. But now Boulton says some hope here. It's very slim, but it exists.
A 180, surely.
140.
A wry smile from Andy Boulton. Good to see. Treble 19 for Gary. 14 would leave tops now. 1 dart at tops.
53.
Here's an opportunity now for the preliminary round qualifier to break the throw. 18 would leave Bull.
49. Gary Uruguay, 20.
Back for double 10, Gary.
Yeah, he did miss a few one time, but he got double 5 another occasion, and he has on this occasion.
Gary Anderson.
Yeah, double 10's caused him a problem or two. Double 5's look a treat there. And now he's within 1 leg of the second round to play Darryl Gurney. Gurney, who beat Jamie Lewis earlier, of course. Nice steady ton for Andy Boulton to get underway.
105.
Can't afford any mistakes,
60.
or he'll be out. And pretty much that's a mistake. Got to get at least 1 treble scoring.
Yeah, first dart, and Anderson wipes out Boulton's previous visit, all but. Needs a treble, Andy Boulton, just to keep this game going, doesn't he?
61.
And I didn't mean that treble.
That was a treble. Oh, and these are trouble.
140.
I was thinking maybe he'd go for the 25, the last dart, leave the 170. But he was more worried about getting another 180. Why not? He's got 3 already.
Now Anderson, 6 darts from here to get through to round 2. First
100.
night of the World Championship, of course, here at the Alexandra Palace. We're back tomorrow afternoon from 1 o'clock. Double session tomorrow. So even if you've not quite finished work for the Christmas break, then we're back tomorrow night as well at 7 on Sky Sports. Make sure you join us. Oh,
100.
how did he squeeze that through?
75.
Now, 18 tops for the match. This for a place in the second round.
55.
Boulton to keep it going now.
80.
Well, yeah, now it could all get very interesting. If he takes this out, he'll get only 1 dart for double to save the match. Double top. And there it is. And now all sorts of little random thoughts come into Gary's head. Perhaps. Or does he just pound in a 180?
Or maybe a 140.
100.
Some'll do.
Oh, there's a little iffiness in that little look at the scores there from Gary Anderson. He knows 100 isn't enough to really dominate, and Boulton has some hope.
Well, fair play, Andy Boulton. Here we go. Treble 20 with the first dart.
100.
And just to eradicate any lingering doubts, Gary needs to take this leg and see the job through before Andy starts chipping away at him.
100.
2 tons he's hit so far, but Andy's not out of the leg, particularly when he's throwing like that.
Yeah, he was anxious to punish the last ton and only got a ton himself, and he's winced.
140.
This time he gets the 140 to edge ahead by 40 points.
140.
That was a lovely last dart, wasn't it, from Gary?
And it gets him to a possible finish. Might not need it.
Well, Andy's played nicely. He's throwing straight and he's hit a treble. So Gary now on a 161, the same as Andy Boulton. He's got a switch.
99.
Treble 19 would have left double 12.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a 25 that last dart. 56. Boulton at 161. Now 62. He might only get the 1 dart to win the match.
53.
He's left 108 Boulton, so now Gary needs double 4 for the match. No problem that time. 1 or 2 blips along the way, but also brilliance on occasions. And Gary Anderson starts the defence of his world title with a straight sets victory, 3-0 against Andy Boulton from the preliminary round.
99.55 3 dart average, 35% on the doubles, 8 140 plus, 3 180s. Pretty convincing 3-0 victory for Gary Anderson. Through Kappa Mossam, Thursday night, day 1, the William Hill World Darts Championship, live from the Alexandra Palace. Crowd have enjoyed interesting matches. Andy Boulton booking his place against Gary Anderson with that 2-1 victory over Per Lawson. Jamie Lewis beaten by Daryl Gurney 3-1. Peter Snake by Wright, 3-0 victory over Keegan Brown. And Gary Anderson a 3-0 victory over Andy Boulton. Let's hear from Gary Anderson, the reigning world champion, talking to Law.
Gary, congratulations. Step 1 on the route to retaining your title, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I've never been so nervous in anything. I always get nervous before I play darts, but tonight, first night, I did well go out, you know, so it made it so much harder. But yeah, I started off well and I kind of feathered away at the end there.
A big relief, though, to get that one out of the way, I presume.
Oh yeah, I can have a nice Christmas now. You know, if I'd lost, I'd have had a terrible Christmas, you know. Of course, Tommy Gilmore's here keeping an eye on me and Edward for Unicorn, so pressure was on it with him here as well. But yeah, no, it'll be nice to get a few days off now.
Do those big gaps help with the nerves, or do you have a chance to recuperate and take stock?
No, never. Every round's the same, you know. I played for a long time and I still get very nervous, but the first game tonight was terrible, but we got there.
Well, it might get a little bit easier, but perhaps not against Daryl Gurney based on the performance earlier.
Yeah, Daryl Gurney and young Jamie Lewis, you know, I actually fancied Jamie for that. But Daryl's been playing well the last 6 months, so he done me in mind head, so it'll be a good game.